Now coming to Python. So Python is the next default choice for OpenCV. So why Python? Some of the pros and cons we will explore in this video. So I believe Python bindings for OpenCV have contributed quite a bit to its popularity. It is an excellent choice for learning computer vision, and it is good enough for a wide variety of real-world applications. Let's look at some of the pros and cons why you should use OpenCV for Python for computer vision. The number one pro is the ease of use. If you are already a Python programmer, using OpenCV for Python would be very easy. Even if you are not a Python programmer and you are very new to programming, Python is a very easy language to learn, especially when compared to C++. It is an excellent first language to learn. So that is why it has very good ease of use. The second pro of OpenCV for Python is that Python has become the language of scientific computing. A few years back, MATLAB was called the language of scientific computing. But now, with OpenCV, NumPy, SciPy, scikit-learn, and Matplotlib, Python provides a powerful environment for learning and experimenting with computer vision and machine learning. The third pro is the visualization and debugging. Although visualization and debugging was very hard in C++, when using OpenCV for Python, we have access to a huge number of libraries that are written for Python. Visualization using Matplotlib is about as good as MATLAB, and also debugging code in Python is much easier than in C++. Although it does not reach the easierness of MATLAB, Python is almost there. The next pro of using Python is that Python is used for building web backend. Python is a very popular language for building websites. Frameworks like Django and Flask allow you to quickly put together web apps. It is very easy to use OpenCV for Python along with these web frameworks. So most of the computer vision algorithms that we will be writing will be exposed through web backend. Therefore, if your web backend is also written in Python, it becomes very easy for us to export our OpenCV algorithms that we have written using Python and expose them using this web backend. Although these pros are very nice, there are also some cons associated with Python. The number one con is the weak documentation. As we mentioned before, OpenCV for C++ documentation is not very good, but the Python documentation is even worse. A novice user is left guessing how to use certain functions. The next con is the lack of support. Companies that support OpenCV like Intel, AMD, Nvidia, etc. have a dog in the fight when it comes to the C++ version of OpenCV. They want you to use OpenCV and to buy their hardware, which are CPUs and GPUs, to run these algorithms. But OpenCV for Python seems to be the proverbial red-headed stepchild that does not seem to get their attention. The next con is the slower runtime. Compared to C++, your programs in Python will typically run very slow. To add an extra punch, you can use the GPU using CUDA or OpenCL in OpenCV for C++ and have code that runs 10 times faster than the Python implementation. The last but not the least con is that OpenCV is written in C++. One of the great benefits of an open source library is your ability to modify them to suit your needs. If you want to modify OpenCV, you have to modify the C++. So, to summarize, as engineers, we need to use the right tool for the right job. Eventually, we will have to learn all the tools in this trade. As a rule of thumb, we will be using OpenCV for Python for prototyping new algorithms, and we will be using OpenCV C++ in production. Therefore, for this course, we will be starting OpenCV using Python because that is the easiest language for us to quickly prototype new algorithms and learn the algorithms that are present in OpenCV. Once we are familiar with the algorithms and we are familiar with using them, then we can shift to C++ in order to write efficient and fast code that can be deployed in production.